Chelsea, it's Paul from Magpie 24/7 back again with another video, and it's another day and another transfer link or two. I do have one to take off the list, however, so we'll get to it. Michael Elise, he ain't coming to St James's Park. Now some of you might be saying, well, that was pretty fucking obvious. However, we had met the fee to be able to speak to the player, to talk to the player, and yeah, unfortunately that hasn't worked out all too well for us. You know, when you're mixing for these top elite players and you're in competition with the likes of Bayern Munich, with your Chelseas, etc, it's always going to be a difficult one to be able to pull off. But the fact that the club is in there trying to make a case, trying to put an argument forward to be able to sign the player is encouraging, definitely. But yeah, Elise, I'm surprised. I thought he'd be off to Moneybags Chelsea, the way that they splashed the cash around with him already being in London and all that sort of thing. However, that's not been the case. He's gone to Munich to work with Vincent Kompany, who's obviously new over there. Yeah, Champions League, one of the biggest clubs in all of European competition, potentially one of the winners for the Champions League, you might argue. I know Real Madrid and your Manchester Cities and so on and so forth, but Bayern Munich, amazingly big club. He's gone there, so that's one to cross off the list. I've got another two to put on though. First of all, first one, yeah, Neto of Wolves. He's been linked for the same sort of money that we were due to be spending on Elise. We haven't wasted much time. According to the Telegraph, we are in discussions with Wolves over a deal to be able to speak to the player to see again how the land lies with that one. To me, this is a bit of a head scratcher, if I'm being honest. We've already for the last season suffered the most amount of missed days through players' injuries, and that yet we're going to sign somebody else who is injury prone, who misses a lot of time. Yes, he's a fantastic, amazing footballer, and it becomes 1000% you get behind it, and it would be amazing on the face of it for name value, etc. However, name value and a player being in the medical room, in the treatment room, does really little to nothing for you. He needs to be on the park, he needs to be fit and available. Now, if he struggled at Wolves in their system, imagine the high intensity, high work rate, the tracking back, the entire grind of an Eddie Howe system, an Eddie Howe training 7 days a week, and you can't imagine that would do much for him. It's had an amazing effect on the likes of Anthony Gordon. However, I just can't see it. I cannot see it. Is it a smoke screen? Is it agent talk to be able to drive the price up elsewhere? Manchester City are also supposedly interested in signing Neto from Wolves, and I'm not surprised. He's absolutely and utterly fucking class. But every time we've seen him recently in games between the two clubs, he's just gone off injured, and for that reason, I would personally say no to the deal. I think there's better value for less money, and it's safer bets out there, and ultimately that's what it's about. It's about reducing the risk level down. You want somebody who's available week in, week out, your Gordons of the world, as opposed to somebody who's just literally not reliable enough. So I think your Manchester City can well easily afford to be able to take the risk. We cannot. We saw what happened last season when we put a lot of our eggs into one basket. That didn't work out too well. It might work out well this season, I'm sure it will. But you've got to sort of spread your risk around a little bit. So for me, I don't know, it seems a little bit paper talk, but we'll see how it goes over the next couple of days. One player who could be joining, it was broken this morning by the Telegraph. I mean, it's been going on for a few years, his name's been linked, is for Dominic Calvert-Lewin. Now, the Telegraph linked him this morning. I think it was Luke Edwards who broke the story, news of our interest. Keith Downey then came along and said, yes, there is interest, yes, there are discussions, but they're at an early stage. And then later on in the day, there was news about Yankuba Minter up in the Chronicle that Newcastle United are looking to sell him, which I find shocking. We spent what, £6-7 million on him. He's never played a game, and let's talk about selling him for £40 million. And I understand with the PSR and the FFP and there's any other fucking abbreviation that you want to be able to use. However, he's never got a chance, has he? You know, he's come from Danish football to Dutch football. He's made a fantastic step up there, and he's played Champions League. He's done really, really well. And I just sort of think that I'm surprised we're not looking at him, you know, over the course of the pre-season. But adding fuel to the fire is obviously Everton are interested in Minter. Newcastle United are interested in Calvert-Lewin. And Keith Downey was suggesting that there could be a little bit of cash coming one way, plus a player, and that would satisfy PSR, get us through this next checkpoint, this next hoop to jump through, like some sort of fucking performing bastard seal. They get their player, we get a player that we have been after for a long, long time, and we get somebody to take some of the burden off your Alexander Isaks of the world, and perhaps Callum Wilson. I don't know. Well, will he stay? Will he go? I don't know. I think he could be one who's off this summer, to be honest. But again, to me, you signing somebody else. Like I've argued with the Neto deal, Calvert-Lewin is injury prone. Now, he did play 30 odd games last season for Everton, but they had to really, really manage his minutes, manage his workload, and really just try and use them when they absolutely had to, as opposed to really you want whoever that we sign able to play in as many games, if not all games, throughout the season. You want to be able to rotate them round, bring them off the bench to start a few games, and not have that worry of, oh my god, he's going to break down at any moment and be out for 6 months with, you know, a calf strain or something like that, you know. We need to be signing players who have a good injury history, and we need to be reducing the amount of days that we are missing our players for this season. That needs to dramatically come down. There was an investigation done by the club at the end of the last campaign to look into why we're picking up so many injuries, and the last thing we want to be able to do then is just add in players who are consistently missing. You know, so as much as you might like the players, you might want the players on name value, or you know what they can do on their day, I'd much rather have a Gordon type signing who is a tremendous footballer and is more often than not fit. You know, I know Gordon missed the odd game here and there, but that's always going to happen. You're never going to get 100% all of the time. But if you're signing the likes of Calvert-Lewin and stuff like that, don't complain then when you've got an injury crisis, when you're balls deep into the season. You know, common sense has to come into it. You've got to look at the risk and look to ways to reduce the risk, not increase it. You know, we missed what 1900 days last year because of injuries. We can do better. We can break the 2000 days this year. No, we don't want any of that. So again, there's not just Everton interested in Minter. There's been the likes of Marseille being linked. I think the Roma's been linked. There's umpteen other clubs here, there, and everywhere, all keen to do business at up to or around the £40 million mark. So it's a lot of money. That it just tells you that everybody who's watching him thinks that he's going to make the grade, he's going to make the mark, he's going to be an absolutely amazing, talented footballer in the future. And I'm just a bit gutted. I think if he does go, we get some sort of clause inserted in there that, you know, there's a buyback opportunity, there's a window for us to be able to bring him back at some point further down the line, further, you know, into the future and stuff, for an agreed fee. Because yeah, this one we could be left with egg on our face, shall we say. So yeah, lots of twists, lots of turns, lots of players to be linked, no doubt, this summer. But a couple there from the Telegraph today, and one to take off our list as well in Elise as well. So let me know what you think of those links from the transfer rumours from today down below in the comments. I hope you're all enjoying the very, very nice weather. I brought it back from Bulgaria. Yeah, it's really, really nice. I've just been out in the garden, hence just got my old stuff on, my old clobber on. I think everybody out and about, smartening gardens up and cutting lawns and fixing fences and painting stuff and doing all that sort of thing. So that's what I want to get back to now. So yes, let me know down below what you think about all the latest transfer rumours, speculation, and so on and so forth. We'll keep bringing you any sort of breaking news across our socials on Magpie 24/7. Subscribe to the channel as well if you haven't already, and of course hit the thumbs up as well, because it does help with that damn YouTube algorithm. Algorithm. Yeah, I need a drink. It's a warm day. I need a drink. So you'll allow me that one. You know I'm not good with certain words and stuff. So yes, can't wait for the new season. Tuesday, isn't it? The next episode of Borefest with Captain fucking Cautious as well. So there's the little matter of that. News about Luke Shaw today. Fuck me. Why did he take him? He's about as sharp as a marble, that lad, isn't he? He's about as sharp as a marble. Get rid of him now. Do what the Ivory Coast did and get some fucker else saying, goodness me, ship in Pep for the summer. Do something. Whatever you do, but just leave Eddie Howe out of the conversation. That's all I'm saying. Yeah, so England again playing on Tuesday, and yeah, still work to do in the group. Who would have thought that back when the draw was made? I thought it would be pretty much a bit of a canter through to the knockout stages, but alas, we've been Southgated. Fuck me. Yeah, time to leave it here now. So yeah, do all those things I said before. In the meantime, take care, keep it tuned, and I'll speak to you later.